As British holidaymakers flock to Tenerife for the Easter break, tensions between locals and tourists have escalated, fueled by anti-tourism sentiments and calls for stricter regulations. Residents of the Canary Islands are voicing their frustrations, citing issues such as rising rental costs, environmental degradation, and cultural dilution. Residents of Tenerife are increasingly vocal about their discontent with the influx of tourists, particularly British visitors. Graffiti bearing messages like "tourists go home" and "too many gyries," a derogatory term for foreigners, have appeared near resorts, reflecting a growing resentment among locals. Concerns range from the proliferation of Airbnb rentals driving up housing prices to environmental degradation caused by tourism activities. Amidst mounting frustrations, protests and demonstrations are being organized to demand stricter controls on tourism. Campaigners are calling for a tourist tax, a moratorium on new tourist developments, and tougher regulations on property ownership by foreigners. The upcoming protests aim to raise awareness of the negative impacts of mass tourism and to pressure authorities into implementing measures to address these issues. Local residents described feeling marginalized in their own communities, with some expressing a sense of displacement and cultural alienation. The influx of tourists, they argue, has transformed once quiet towns into bustling tourist hubs, eroding the authentic local experience. Additionally, concerns about job opportunities, traffic congestion, and environmental degradation further exacerbate tensions between residents and tourists. While some British tourists acknowledge the challenges faced by locals, others defend the importance of tourism to the island's economy. They argue that tourists contribute significantly to local businesses and employment opportunities, and that blaming tourists for broader socio-economic issues is unfair. However, they also recognize the need for responsible tourism practices and greater consideration for local residents' concerns. The clash between Tenerife residents and British tourists underscores broader tensions surrounding the impacts of mass tourism. As both sides grapple with the complexities of tourism's influence on the island, finding a balance between economic growth and environmental sustainability remains a pressing challenge. Dialogue and collaboration between residents, tourists, and authorities are essential to address these concerns and ensure the long-term viability of Tenerife's tourism industry.